Hi everyone. So I'm Bessie Braddock and I'm a lesbian. I'm going to talk briefly about why I left Labour and what Labour needs to do to persuade me to return. So I was a member of the Labour Party who watched in disbelief when Liam Magdagan was appointed Women's Officer, and who gritted my teeth when I heard Jeremy Corbyn had announced his pronouns were he, him. But despite increasing disillusionment with Labour, I remained a member, hoping these were isolated incidents rather than endemic misogyny. I remained a member, that is, until something tipped me over the edge. And the thing that tipped me over the edge, the final nail in Labour's coffin, so to speak, was the behaviour of the leadership candidates in the run-up to the leadership election to replace Jeremy Corbyn in early 2020. Lobby groups, Labour Campaign for Trans Rights and LGBT plus Labour produced lists of 10 pledges for the leadership hopefuls to sign. Labour Campaign for Trans Rights pledges contained delightful nuggets such as accept that trans women are women, trans men are men, and non-binary people are non-binary. Accept that there is no material conflict between trans rights and women's rights. Organise and fight against transphobic organisations such as Women's Place UK and LGB Alliance and other trans exclusionist hate groups, and support the expulsion from the Labour Party of those who express bigoted transphobic views. The leadership candidates fell over themselves in a frenzied stampede to sign these ridiculous pledges. Keir Starmer, to his credit, didn't sign them, but he did sign the LGBT plus Labour pledges, which, although they didn't call for a war to be waged on women's and LGBT advocacy groups, did commit to not allowing parents to take their children out of sex and relationship lessons, to introducing self-ID, and to banning all conversion therapy, so enabling modern-day gay conversion therapy, essentially. The authoritarian, sorry, I'm struggling to read in this light. The authoritarian tone of the trans lobbies groups' pledges, you must accept, you will believe, etc., was terrifying, as was the branding of women and LGBT advocacy groups as hate groups, and the commitment to expelling anyone guilty of the thought crime of not believing that trans women are women. That those vying to lead the party had such poor judgment as to sign up to these insane requests was what did it for me, and I resigned my membership. Have I been tempted to reconsider? Sadly, no. We have a litany of Labour MPs who have beclowned themselves to such an extent it is impossible for them to ever regain credibility or command respect again, in my eyes at least. Let's take just a few. Lisa Nandy told Julia Longer of Hustings she thought male rapists should be housed in female prisons and their crimes should be recorded as female if that's what the rapist wants. She's apparently since said that she was unduly swayed by young activists, but that doesn't exactly fill me with confidence either. David Lammy famously called women dinosaurs hoarding rights and seems to believe that men can grow a cervix if they take enough hormones. Dawn Butler said babies are born without a sex and the majority of giraffes are gay. Nadia Whittam ominously talked of re-education of Labour Party members who don't toe their identity politics line, to be followed by expulsion if unsuccessful. Labour peer Shami Chakrabarti likened men who identify as women to refugees. Migrants to their sex were her words. Stella Creasy, Emily Thornberry and various other Labour MPs think some women have penises and some men have a cervix, and so did Keir Starmer until very recently. So what does Labour need to do to entice me back? I genuinely don't think there's anything Labour could do to make me become a member once more. But what would they need to do for me to consider voting for them? A lot. A hell of a lot. Keir Starmer needs to apologise to Rosie Duffield for Labour's disgusting treatment of her. And personally, I would really like him to apologise for saying that only women have a cervix is something that shouldn't be said.
Yeah.
How dare he? And what else? Labour needs to cut all ties with Stonewall, not ban all conversion therapy, and unambiguously state that it will protect single-sex spaces. And Labour MPs need to be able to answer the questions, what is a woman, and does a woman have a penis, sensibly and coherently. They haven't exactly had the most auspicious of starts, with Kate Osborne leading the way by proudly volunteering that she thinks some women do have a penis. In summary, Labour will need to convince me that the rights of women, LGB people and children will be protected under a future Labour government as opposed to decimated by a future Labour government. And they're not doing a very good job of it currently. Thank you.
Well done.
Let's all encourage Labour to be braver.